Welcome back to Teed Up, an original podcast created and produced by Long Beach State student-run newspaper, The Daily 49er. I'm Kristina Agresta.
I'm Sonny Tapia.
I'm Matty G.
And I'm Naoki.
Thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you guys for being here. As always, let's jump into beach sports.
Whew. First place in the new digs.
Yeah.
First episode in the new studio. I like it in here.
It's nice.
It's great.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Headphones work.
We can see ourselves. There's like a monitor where we can look at ourselves. It's really weird.
It's
We
got a
got
logo.
Got the logo up.
It's very fancy.
Very, very fancy. Start things off. There was a press conference yesterday with new women's basketball head coach Amy Wright. It's gonna be an exciting season coming up.
Exciting?
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
I think there's a lot of concern for the team. I think the press conference was very interesting. There was no one from the media there besides me. And
That's right.
The other questions were taken from, alumni.
Oh, wow.
And the alumni didn't seem thrilled either because we don't have a coaching staff. No one. Cameron took his entire staff with him.
Like everybody?
Oh, so she has to rebuild
And-
not just the players, but
Yes.
Oh, wow.
the staff and everything, too.
And she told me she did not bring anyone from Oklahoma.
Wow.
She wants to build up the core from people in the local area so the team gets some sort of synergy, which it's a new
Okay.
coaching staff. I don't know how you're getting new synergy out of local people, but hopefully it works for the team.
I'll apply.
You'll apply?
Yeah, I'll
I
apply.
mean,
No.
it could work.
I'll
no,
do it.
Reject the application.
What?
I'll apply. I'll be their water girl.
And then also we're obviously replacing 5 seniors, and she might have kind of hesitantly said they don't need to be replaced. I think that's an oversight. You have 5
Yeah.
seniors who are 4 starters. Final game of the year, they play 132 out of your 200 minutes, and now you just need to replace them. You don't have a lot of depth there. You are late to recruiting.
Yeah.
It's just very questionable where we're at.
I feel like she's going to try and ride more on what she did at Oklahoma.
Well, no, it sounds like she wants to write off of what Cameron did here. She believes that the players they have are the recipe for success, which
I mean, I believe in them, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like they're not
I mean, they're gone.
seniors, And
Yeah.
the
They're
seniors are
gone.
gone. The good ones are gone. I wouldn't say good ones because they're all good.
no, I mean
but
Kiana Hamilton Fisher is going to return, and I'm sure she'll take that Makai Berry role. You have Savannah Tucker's there's players who have played minutes, but
yeah.
you're losing out on so much experience.
Yeah, and I mean, going into this past year, I remember that the women's team also they were kind of in this similar position where, Cameron was here, but they only had a handful of players going into the year, and then they did a lot of recruiting, a lot of transfers came in, and look at what the result was. Yes, it ended in disappointment, but they had a spectacular regular season. And the reason why I say that I'm excited is because this is a coach that has experience with success in a really good conference and a really good program. Yes, as of this moment, she doesn't have a staff yet, and I think when Ted came to talk to our class, he had said that he was only going to take Coach Cam was going to take only one or two of his assistants with him to SMU, but it appears that he took the entire staff with him, which is a little bit disappointing. But it is, to me, it's more you were already going into a program where it was rebuilding. A lot of your best players are gone. You kind of have a lot of these younger underclassmen and some recruits that are coming in, and it's very, very fresh. It's a very fresh situation, and it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out from right now till really when training camps begin and preseason starts in the fall. And I mean, we're going to be here to see that, so I'm excited to see it.
No,
Yeah.
I think one of the most alarming things for me was, and I don't know the credibility to it, but Wright mentioned it during the press conference, there was a rumor being spread that players would be judged at practice and potentially cut.
Oh, damn.
And to even bring that up just feels out of place.
It feels wrong as far as morale goes.
Yeah, to bring it
for
up in a
sure.
press
Yeah.
conference setting. The entire team was there at the press conference.
Yeah.
And pretty much say, this isn't true, I don't know where it came from. I feel like that's something that should be dealt in-house.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you're already going into a program where, if we're comparing Long Beach to Oklahoma, the talent level between those two programs, it's night and day almost,
Oh, yeah, there's so many different factors. But, I mean, I think even though Cameron did take his staff with him, I still think that people are going to want to work with Amy because of what she did at Oklahoma and what she's been known to do. So I think she'll be fine.
It'll just take time, I think.
It'll be something to watch.
These next almost 6 or 7 months is going to be very interesting to watch, just to see who she brings in, in the coach's sort of group, and then when the new recruits get here, what does that look like now? And Matty alluded to it, like no one's spot is safe, and is that a culture that you want to set as you're at literally like within a week of you being here? I don't know. Some players thrive off of sort of that back up against the wall, like I gotta fight for my spot every day now.
That's what I think it is. I think that's what she's like kind of banking on, is that they're gonna get this attitude like, okay, then I really need to prove myself and I need to push harder and be better.
And the players that come out of sort of this experiment, right? Then that as Coach Wright, like the team that you will end up having, if you end up like cutting out kind of like the weaker or and keeping the stronger, you're going to have some dogs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hell Week in football, like in high school football. It's like Hell Week. Like if you can make it through Hell Week, you're on the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can make it through her training and through her practices and stuff like that, you should be fine.
I mean, at least I think it shows, like, while this strategy might be controversial, I think it shows that she wants to win, and she wants to win here, and she's going to do whatever it takes. Matty has a totally different opinion.
Well, I think you guys are like alluding to it differently than what she was talking about. She doesn't want it to be a dogfight. She thinks all the players already earned their spots off of their reputation from last season. But as I was going, a lot of those players don't have that reputation as starters. They weren't the ones that brought the success necessarily. And that's not like discrediting them. Obviously, a lot of them played vital minutes. But to say that team's like ready to step up,
I don't think that's true.
no.
I personally think I'm going into next season expecting it not to be great.
Right.
I'm expecting her to take one season to kind of get everything together and then really hit the ground running the year after.
Yeah, that's more so what I wanted to hear out of her answers. Like, realistically, it's a rebuild.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think anyone's expecting the team to have as good of a year as this year. It'd be like very questionable to believe that's possible.
Yeah.
And I think she needs time, obviously, to like rebuild everything.
I just hope that the players themselves are energized with this kind of coach coming in and with her mentality. And I mean, like you said, like she doesn't want it to be a dogfight, but that also kind of shows like her belief in them.
Yeah.
And like they already earned their spots. And you always want, as a player, confidence from your coach.
Right.
Yeah,
You never want your coach to be doubting you and stuff like that. Even though, like you said, Naoki, like some players thrive off that. They thrive off being doubted. But she wants that morale to kind of stay up.
Yeah.
And I like that. And then, but at the same time, I want to see who would actually survive. Like if they get doubted, like who would push harder to get their spot and win and stay as a starter and stuff like that.
It's going to be interesting. That's what I was saying. Like, I'm excited. Like it's going to be really interesting to see how this season really turns out. And like you said, we might just lower our expectations, like, yes, we came off a really good year, but it's like knowing what we know, 5 of the best players are gone. Your coach and their coaching staff, they're gone. It's a full scale rebuild, in the NCAA. There's no draft picks. Like you can't just, there's no excitement for
it's
a
all
draft.
transfer portal.
Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see. On a lighter note, we alluded last week to the freshman, Jasmine Loval. She did amazing in the Big West, but now she will participate in the San Antonio Regional as an individual, competing on her own. And
wow.
Ball out. That's all I got to say. Just ball out. You got it.
You already know. If, just embrace your inner Ian Gilligan, and then you'll be fine.
I mean, she doesn't even have to embrace
She doesn't
her.
have to do that.
Yeah.
She's got to do her.
Embrace
She just got to embrace herself. She won Big
Embrace
West
herself.
Championship. She's had a really impressive season as a freshman.
Oh, so impressive.
I mean, she's the best golfer on the team as a freshman.
That's a really, really incredible thing to do.
Yep.
I mean, our women's golf team is so strong.
Might as well call her Charlize Barkley at this point. The best female golfer I've ever seen since Charlize Barkley.
New teed up teaser clip.
Yeah, Aiden. Put the same clip, but put a wig on Charles.
Yeah.
No, please don't do that. And then a pretty big game coming up in the Dirtbags.
Yep.
Oh, it's exciting.
Oh, I'm so
We're
excited.
going.
We're going to go.
We're going.
there.
We'll be there.
This is the first time I've ever seen you excited to do anything.
Bro, it's at a pro stadium. And
I
we
know.
get to take photos.
They might even say our name.
I mean, it does sound like you guys are going to have a lot more access than most of our sporting events. I saw you guys get
Yeah.
media well, dugouts. Like,
Wow.
it should be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited. And we're talking about this thing with my cameraman. I'm so
You figured out the autofocus.
I did.
For everyone that doesn't
I
understand.
had this lens
he
for
figured out his
almost
autofocus.
I had this lens for almost a year, and I had to like manually focus and zoom. Oh my gosh.
But the game overall, I mean, I'm excited for it. I mean, okay, so as of right now, because the Dirtbags currently, as we are recording, are in Reno,
Yes.
Nevada.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but as of like standings and like the win and loss and everything, USC doesn't do well on the road. Granted, this will be a neutral location,
Yeah.
Right.
and they're 1-0 in neutral locations, but they're 4-9-1 as of right now, as of recording in away games.
Right.
That's not great. Like, you're not even breaking 500 in away games.
Not even.
And so, but the Dirtbags, they're also borderline in the same kind of place.
Well, they
Yeah.
just got swept in Hawaii last week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just got swept, and they're barely above 500 overall.
But they're
And-
22-15 overall.
Yeah, and they're exactly 500 in conference play
Yep.
as of right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they kind of like come out of the tournament they're in right now,
Yeah.
in Reno. But I don't know. It should be kind of exciting. I think it'll give them a little bit of like a platform
Yeah.
to be like, we are the Dirtbags. Like, people come here to play baseball because we have so
Exactly.
many MLB prospects and things like
Yeah.
that. So I think they'll be a little bit more excited.
I mean, this is the closest thing to prime time
Oh yeah,
that Long Beach is ever gonna get.
Yeah. True.
except for volleyball.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
We're always
that's-
gonna get prime time.
it's
but-
true. It's true.
I think this is exciting. I mean, I think one, it'll be nice for our fans to like be able to come and watch this like in an actual big stadium because
Yeah.
we aren't necessarily the best in terms of facilities at
True.
anything. But I mean, I think
Blair's a nice stadium.
no, Blair's nice.
Pyramid
The
leagues.
pyramid needs work. Yeah, the pyramid does leak through the tip. But
Yep.
no, I'm excited for this game. I'm not going because I don't really care about baseball.
Wow.
I
Where's your
know.
support?
I know.
I
Where's
mean-
your inner dirtbag?
You're-
It's in there somewhere.
Is there?
Yeah. Maybe I'll go. What day? What day is it?
Next Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, May 2nd.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's go.
I got nothing to do.
Come on.
But
now.
I mean, okay, so Matty, you are an Angels fan.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
yes.
I apologize for your dreadful years.
We had to bring it up, yes.
Oh.
But so tickets for this game are $25.
It's more expensive than a normal Angels game.
See, that's
Really?
sad. That's
It
just
is,
so
and
sad.
I think one of the funny things is like maybe it's a little disappointing for a lot of people, but you get a ticket to an Angels game. So
Oh, I would just throw it away.
Oh, you get
Yeah.
a free ticket?
yeah,
Yeah, you get a free Angels
You should just
ticket.
collect. You should stand
And
at the
collect
entrance
people's-
and collect them.
And then just be a scalper.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I'd
You
maybe
can charge
get like
double. You'll make $20 instead of 10.
Yep.
oh, it's like $2.
Really?
See, this is
Yeah.
why the Angels are not worth watching.
I think it's most baseball teams in general. You can get cheap tickets, but yeah,
Yeah. that's
$25 is kind of a lot for a baseball game.
We lost the logo.
true. We did
We
lose our
did.
logo. That's so sad.
It's all right.
It's fine.
You guys know who we are already.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
need that.
we
We're
think.
teed up.
I think
But no,
all 40 of you.
I'm really excited to see a lot of our players, especially ones who are draft eligible or like
Mhm.
Yeah.
have draft potential. Connor Burns, Jonathan Long, Rocco Pepe, like getting that chance to
Juice.
play inside of an MLB stadium.
Yeah.
Just feel like you're there. And I really hope they put the pitchers in the bullpen.
That I hope so.
Like, I
too.
really
That would
wanna
be
see
so
that.
Cool.
I imagine they will. I don't know why they wouldn't, but
Would they have him like walk out like they do?
Yeah, that's what I
like,
wanna
just
see.
out of the thing?
Exactly.
Oh, it'd
That'd
be
be
so
really
fun.
cool.
see
But
who
they're-
sprints out and then
It'd
gets
be
shelled.
so fun.
Put their music on.
I am hoping that this is just like all in all, like, yeah, it's a game and like we want to win, but I hope it's a good experience for the players, for the fans, and I hope it's something that like maybe we can kind of do a lot more. I think this is the first time we've done it, right?
I don't know.
I don't-
That I don't know.
My Dirtbags history is very.
I'm
very
pretty
limited.
sure this is the first time we've done something like this. So I'm hoping maybe if it's successful enough and we play well enough that
Yeah.
it can keep going.
I mean, baseball, at least in terms of our school, is one of the only sports that we can really do that with. I mean, like I said, besides volleyball, because
Mhm.
our clashes with Hawaii always go crazy.
Mhm.
and
Oh yeah.
Always
know,
a good game.
It's always a good game, and but yeah, like you said, if this thing becomes really successful and it has an amazing turnout, because USC, Long Beach, those are two of the bigger like baseball like sports
Mhm.
teams in Southern California. So it's like, we're gonna see a big part of USC fans come out with the Trojan pride, and then we're gonna have our fans out there, because the Dirtbags games, it has a following outside of campus.
Oh,
Like,
for
oh, yeah.
sure.
It has a really big community following and a
Yep.
very big community fan base in the city of Long Beach. So it's gonna be very, very exciting, and I'm so hyped to go.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be great.
so
It's
hyped.
gonna be a great opportunity for you guys in terms of like being media and doing that.
I'm just there to
quick,
take photos.
quick prediction: do we think we'll see any bombs?
Yeah.
I think so. I
Yeah.
do hope they do like the fireworks, but maybe not the budget for that.
Are we gonna?
I mean, they're doing it for graduation.
What graduation?
Sorry.
Sonny here understands the pain, and he doesn't even care.
Maybe they'll keep the waterfall on.
Maybe.
The waterfall doesn't even run during the season half
Nope,
the
it
time
doesn't.
anymore.
That's crazy.
Well, maybe they'll turn it on special for us.
Yeah, maybe
hopefully.
Jared Weaver, Matt Duffy, some of the former Dirtbags who played for the
Possibly.
Angels will throw in some money. Who
Yeah,
knows?
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
How
Yeah.
expensive can fireworks be? Like
I
$10?
don't know. For a stadium, probably
Yeah.
a couple $100, couple $1,000. I
Yeah,
would
we're talking
figure.
thousands.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you know, but
I can't
um,
contribute that. Sorry to the Dirtbags.
yeah, we gotta hit up the baseball, the MLB, the pro people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Speaking of Tuesday, there's a pretty big game coming up. We alluded to volleyball. They're in the NCAA tournament. They play against Grand Canyon University in Fairfax, Virginia. So they're cross country right now.
Yep.
We are not going to that. Just
We are
for
not.
disclosure, we are not going.
Well,
to
we're
that.
going to USC.
We
that's
don't
all.
have
Yep.
the budget to send people to
Honestly,
Virginia.
between the three sports journalists, would you have preferred to go to the USC Anaheim in Angel Stadium or go to Fairfax to cover NCAA volleyball?
I know Matty
Oh, you
would
was-
love
you-
to just go to Angel Stadium.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not going to Virginia.
I would want to go to
I would go to
I would
Omaha.
go to Virginia.
I would go to Virginia.
I would go to
too.
Omaha. That would be fun. Omaha.
I
out
love
Peyton Manning.
NCAA volleyball.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. So I wish I could have gone to
That-
Virginia.
yeah.
You don't go to UCI?
No, I did not go to
Uh-oh.
UCI.
Don't even talk about UCI. You were so upset to be there the entire time we were there. We covered that, and he was miserable.
Dang.
The entire time he was like, "I really hope they lose. I don't want to
You
go.
can't
I don't
put
want to
that
come
out
back."
there.
Matty G's notorious for like jinxing things.
Oh,
like
it's great.
Yeah, maybe I was just trying to hope we won.
But it
Yeah.
didn't. But it didn't even matter.
That's
like
true.
it didn't even matter. We're still in the tournament.
Yeah.
We're fine.
predictions. The day that this comes out will be the day that they will be playing.
I think we beat GCU.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
we
we
beat
beat
GCU.
GCU. Move on.
I
At
like
the
that.
very least, we beat GCU, and then I forget who would
Who's
come
n-
up next in the bracket, but I think it's Penn.
Oh, that's
I-
tough.
That would be top
Penn,
5 rankings.
Penn was the top 5 team in the
Mm.
nation. Penn was really good this year.
But we're top 5 in
But
the
we're
nation.
top
Yeah.
5 too.
We're
yeah.
top
They
5.
were-
So it's
I
two.
think they
top
were
5
above
ranked.
us. Like
Let me look.
I want to say Penn was above us.
They were
in-
above us by one spot.
They were. I think they were just above us. I
yeah,
think.
1 spot.
Oh man.
I'm confident we've been playing well this season. Do I think we can beat like Hawaii in this tournament? No.
I think we could.
I think we
Really?
can.
I do think the team's
Yeah.
capable of beating any team in the nation. I mean, they beat Hawaii on their own court. They split the
Yeah.
series. So, like,
Not
it really
UCLA.
just comes down to when you play good. And that game against UCI was really bad for
Yeah.
yeah, they
everyone
were
on our
just
team.
not performing.
They just did not
no.
Yeah.
hit the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, the attacking percentages was like, it was the worst hitting percentage
The
of
entire
the season.
goal of volleyball hit the ball. We couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it.
And I know there's talks of like, one of the issues with the team was not subbing, potentially players that maybe should have been subbed.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of just ruined us. I know Nathan Harlan came in, he had a good game, but like Aiden was kind of struggling setting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they didn't go to Island.
I think when we're on it though.
Yeah.
Penn is currently ranked number 2 and we're currently ranked number 4.
Yeah,
UCLA
so they
is
moved
at
up.
1 and Hawaii's at 3. I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Like-
This team at its best is a championship favorite.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
UCLA.
Yeah.
If we win, we play UCLA.
Oh, not UCLA.
Well, we've beat
No.
UCLA
We got it.
before.
It's fine.
I mean,
We also
Fine.
did lose to UCLA this season pretty badly.
we did.
But and even if this team at its worst is still a championship contender, it's just more like, what kind of day are we gonna have here?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm hoping we at least make it to the final.
I would take that.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice.
Do we have it in the budget to take us to the final if we get there?
I can cover it remotely.
We can cover remotely.
Yeah, we can take photos remotely too.
We don't have the budget to go down the street, dog. Like
That is true.
we can't even get a ride to UCI.
Yeah.
Or slow.
But
Don't talk about slow.
I'm excited. This is always my favorite part of the year in terms of being like a Long Beach State sports fan. I love volleyball. Men's volleyball is like one of my favorite sports in the world, and it's just
It's so good.
Championship volleyball.
championship volleyball is so good. It's so exciting to see just like the insanity of talent that there is. And I mean, sometimes you see a serve and it's just like, oh my god, you just feel something.
We spent 20 minutes on beach sports. By the way.
That's
We
the
did-
longest beach
oh
sports
my
segment
God.
ever.
Gary's gonna be happy.
We
It's
gotta-
almost as if we have stuff to talk about.
It's almost as if like we're like a school newspaper talking about our school.
yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Not to the cooler stuff. Pro sports.
People that actually win.
This is where I dip out.
This is where Kristina can catch her breath.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some. We were just talking about baseball. Let's talk about some
We
professional
always can
baseball
talk
here.
about baseball, but Pittsburgh Pirates, it's crazy. Like, are they legit? They're the best team in the National League this year. No one could have like had that on their bingo card,
No.
especially after O'Neal Cruz goes down 10 games in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz feels like the player who's like the breakout caliber guy, but it's been Brian Reynolds who kind of got fleeced. I don't like his contract for him. I think it was 8 years, $102 million.
Wow.
Look, they are the best right now as of standings and everything. But remember, baseball is 162 regular
it is
season
a long
games.
year.
It is
Yeah.
a very long year.
Yeah.
So do I think they could possibly be a contender playoff wise? Yes. It would be very iffy.
I
but
wouldn't
I
even
think,
say that.
I think yes.
I think they're a
this
wild
early on,
card
I think they
threat.
would do it. I
Wild
don't know.
card threat makes sense to me. No one on their team really seems like sustainable stars besides Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes, like Ji-won Bae. I don't like the guy. Don't look up anything about him, but he's having a good year. And I mean, they're kind of just a fun team. Pittsburgh's been really bad at baseball for a long time, and it feels like maybe you're getting back to that era when you had Garrett Cole, Tyler Glasnow, even before then Barry Bonds.
Don't
Shout
talk
out-
about Barry Bonds.
I love him.
No,
Shout out-
your hot takes are not good hot takes.
Shout out Juice.
But like this one isn't even a hot take. The Drew Maggi moment, I think, is probably one of my favorite moments of this
It was
year.
great. It was
Like,
really cool to see.
A man who grinds 13 years in the minor leagues, plays 1,155 games, and then finally gets up to the show at 33.
Yeah.
They give him a standing ovation. All the players are up at the front of the dugout to listen, and then he gets a strike violation.
I mean, kind of killer though. A great story.
Great story. He is hitless so far. He got his first start though, and
There
his
you go.
post-game interview is so good to listen to. It was like 4 minutes. I feel like you never see a player get a 4-minute post-game interview on the field.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
people were just really interested to hear what he had to say.
Yeah.
Especially being a player that, like you said, 1,155 games, right?
Mhm.
In the minors, like you would want to hear from him just to like kind of see how it is.
Yeah, it
I mean,
was
that
like-
happened in basketball too.
Yeah, with Andre Ingram.
Yep.
He was like he spent like 20 years in the G League
Yep.
and then
Wow.
got played. He played one game and he scored like 20 points.
Yeah,
and he was like
he
the
balled
talk
out.
of the league
Yep.
like for a minute.
Yep.
He's literally like the G League's. He's like top 5. This is a developmental like league. This is like the minor leagues of baseball.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He had been there for like almost his entire career. He like does like math tutoring on the side to like make ends meet.
Mhm.
And then
Good for him.
he goes in his NBA game like cooks Chris Paul
Yep.
when he's on the Rockets, and he becomes like the talking point of sports for like a week. But yeah, I could not imagine like being in a minor league or like in the G
Imagine
League for,
being
like,
in the minors for the Angels.
Ooh, an
Ooh.
organization that doesn't even pay their players,
You
give
gotta,
them housing, give them food.
you gotta pay them.
Could
to
be
play.
worse. Could be worse.
Could
That's
be
how
worse.
it is in motorsport. You have to pay to be a part until you're in F1, and it's like $3 million a year.
That's it.
Yeah, just casual.
I got it. It's fine.
A lot of nepotism.
Yeah, a lot of nepotism.
That's fine. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, more local, we got the Padres.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
No.
I mean, some of those big contract players slumping.
I love to see it. You know, as a Dodger fan, I love to
makes
see
sense,
that
yeah.
they're slumping.
I don't love to see it as a firm believer that Juan Soto is and still can be a top 5 player in baseball.
Whoa.
But he's looked bad.
He's looked very, very bad. Do I think he can be a top 5 player again?
Yes.
No.
He's 23.
No.
Everything's there. The hit tool's there. The eye's still there. I
Yeah,
know this year
no.
he's struggling because he's not swinging first pitch, but rumors are he could be on the trade block with the contract expiring.
Mm.
Rumors are the Yankees might be a team involved.
Jeez.
God, the Yankees. I despise the Yankees.
It's
So-
going to be interesting to see. Like, they gave up a ton of prospects to land him, and then to, like, part ship not even a year later.
almost immediately.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, but you got Tatis back. They have options to try to figure things out.
Mr. PED.
Whoa.
I love seeing him dance in the outfield. It was actually kind of cute.
Cute.
It was.
cute.
No, it was cute. But Manny Machado, really bad year. Gets his extension midseason. He probably put up the worst at bat I've seen in a while against Drew Smiley. Swung at 3 knuckle curves, nowhere near the zone. Just whiffed.
Maybe we're gonna have a what's it called, the batting like a batting curse from when he was the first one to get a batter's violation for the clock.
Yes.
Maybe there's gonna be a curse
the
now
spring
because of
training
that.
game.
Yeah, he got the very first one ever.
It's the Matty G curse. I was there in the moment to see it happen, and I guess I put some bad juju on him. I don't know. But good juju-wise, breakout campaigns. A lot of players really have shown up this year. Cody Bellinger, that's one I love to see. I've
Belly.
always liked Bellinger. The
Miss
belly
him.
bombs, the smile.
Miss
but-
him, but he washed.
He's not washed, though.
No, not now. Like he washed when he was still in the Dodgers. Like all of
Yeah.
a sudden he came out and got in the dryer and now he's back.
It was
like,
the
he-
arm injuries. I think he's always still had it.
You picked him up from the cleaners.
Yeah, he got dry cleaned and now he's back. He's just it's weird. I hate it, especially when he smacked like a home run off of the Dodgers in that Cubs game. Like, nah.
But the Dodgers have a player who also is having another breakout campaigner. at least a rebound season of Max Muncy. I mean, he's leading the league in OPS. Muncy was miserably bad last year.
Yeah, he was. He was really disappointing because especially when people were so used to him being like a heavy slugger and just this guy that can hit like clutch little hits and especially like, deep in the outfield. So, yeah, he was definitely good, but I'm happy to see him back.
Yeah.
Hit the button, Kristina. That's right. Pickle break. It's pickle break time.
Pickle break.
I don't know how we've got through 10 pickle breaks, but after probably close to 30 different pickle facts at this point, I have nothing left in the tank. So
we've exhausted it.
we can highlight some of our favorite pickle moments.
Yep.
Pickles Kennedy,
The OG.
the first
OG.
name mentioned.
Yeah.
Pickles Kennedy.
Pickles
And
the dog, a classic.
Pickles the dog, yes.
the Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing
the
pickles.
shoe.
Pickle shoes.
Dylan the pickle.
I think David Pickles is personally one of my favorite just because I was at the game,
Yeah.
spotted
Yeah,
the
that was
man,
cool.
and was like, there's no shot there's a player named Pickles
No
at a game I'm
shot.
covering. Like, how?
It was
How-
very
how sway.
exciting.
We had Katie Dill.
Yeah.
Katie Dill,
Katie
Still.
Dill.
Sauerkraut Sal.
Sauerkraut Saul.
The sauerkraut Sal versus jalapeno Hannah beef.
Hmm.
And then how can we forget the Portland Pickles?
The Portland
Pickles.
pickles.
The-
Armando Bricino.
Briseño. bro.
Briseño.
Senyo. Get it together.
Jeez.
There's an accent.
If
True.
there isn't. Oh, it's not
an
on the
Enya.
website. It's not on the. That's why he. I had to ask Jonathan Long in class. Like, how do you pronounce this? He goes, "It's Briseño." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." But that's really where it all started. Like me and Matty were just talking about like how we're gonna go about this podcast, and he was talking about like, oh, there's a guy on our team that plays for the Portland Pickles. Like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So we start talking about the Portland Pickles. Like we go deep, and then
Mhm.
we're like, then we start talking about like, oh yeah, like they sell this pickle stuff over here, and then do this thing over here, and then they just like that's how Pickle Break was
The
born.
pickle lore was deep, and we definitely dipped into as much of it as we probably could have found.
The
We
chickle.
definitely have. Yeah.
Chickle. That's my all-time
Sauerkraut,
favorite.
kimchi,
Yeah.
so many things mentioned.
Yeah, we've exhausted.
And it all
the-
lands back to the chickle, which
yeah,
But we could
OG.
possibly be having that.
we could
On the next
possibly be
episode?
having it
Next
at the Last
week,
Supper.
The Last Supper.
The Last Supper. Last Pickle Supper.
Yeah.
Everyone on the pod hates pickles
Oh,
pretty
no,
much
no, no,
besides
no.
me.
No, I love
No,
pickles,
I love
Matty.
pickles. Don't
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of pickle hate on my time on this pod, so it'll be nice to
it's-
get to eat some.
It's me.
Yeah, it's Naoki.
I'm not excited about. I'm really not excited to do this.
There's been so many times where you've told me you want to eat a pickle on the pod.
I do it for the content. I do it for the
It's
content.
for the views. It's for the views.
It's for the views, man. It's just so that Ian Gilligan can keep commenting on our Instagram posts.
Yeah, shout out Ian Gilligan, #1 fan of Teed Up. Get
Come
on
on
the
now.
pod.
Come on, can we next semester we gotta get him on the pod. We have to
We
get
can
him on
try.
here. Have him eat a pickle.
Do you like pickles, Ian?
Well, we're gonna change for next year
Yeah, and
from Pickle Break.
You know, we'll
Yeah.
make that announcement.
we'll
Stay
announce it
tuned.
soon.
Next week we have
Mhm.
a pretty big announcement coming up for
Mhm.
next semester. But yeah, the Pickle Break Hall of Fame, if you want to call it, it was a really good run.
it
was a good run.
It became a very big staple of this podcast.
I felt very blessed to have been on. How many episodes have we been on? Like 5 or 6?
5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, on that many episodes, learning that many pickle facts. I mean,
It's great.
I'm just gonna like brainwash myself in the summertime to get all these out of my head.
yeah.
I'm not. This is not it.
Sometimes I like wake up in the middle of the night and then I remember that I'm gonna be recording a podcast where I have to talk about pickles, and it just kind of haunts me.
It haunts me every week.
I bet.
I come in like, okay.
It will next week too when you eat them.
Oh, jeez.
And we're gonna be outside because we can't eat in here.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
fine.
very fun.
It's fine. We have the best editors. It's fine.
We do.
We do. So we're recording this on Friday. The night prior or last night was the NFL draft.
Yep.
Plenty of surprises here.
92%.
Yeah,
Was supposed to get drafted top 10.
Will Levi.
Will Levi. Terrible. Just awful. And they had so many angles of him just like on his phone.
Yeah,
Just chilling because he was just so disappointed. But yeah, 92% chance that he was supposed to be drafted top 10. Matty, you mentioned that he was supposed to be #1 in Vegas and he was there for like
It
what,
was
a
for
cool
like
second.
3 hours where
Yeah.
it happened. Some rumors were swirling on like Reddit where someone had heard he was getting drafted #1 and it
Yeah.
just boosted the odds. But I don't think it's a real talking point of the draft.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a real talking point, but at the same time, like I saw this comment and it was very true. Tom Brady got drafted in the 6th round,
but we're not gonna compare.
Will
Levi
Levi's is
to-
not
but
Tom
he
Brady.
is not Tom Brady, and I understand that. But at the same time, I mean, he could have like a decent career.
But it's not like Tom Brady was not expected to be a first-round pick.
No,
No.
it's true. It's
he,
true.
He was
Very
borderline Mr. Relevant for a
The
reason.
last
true.
time I made a Tom Brady comp, talking about the draft, it was Jake Luton, and I think he threw like 4 interceptions on Thanksgiving. So
Can we like normalize like when we do like live tweeting for events and we lose, we should do like hashtag Matty G curse.
Yeah.
Like hashtag.
I support that. I support that.
But Bryce Young goes first. CJ
Yeah.
Stroud went second. The Texans,
They're stacking
they're
up.
they're stacking up for the future.
do
here.
you like the trade?
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it.
It feels like a
either.
lot of capital.
It seems like a lot of capital at first. I mean, and it's just, I don't know. I think they're making the right move to give themselves a better opportunity future-wise, like you
Right.
said. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
it's more about future. It's like preemptive, kind of like
Yeah.
preventative from failure so much. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they're so used to just losing and having terrible, terrible seasons.
Right.
They're trying to
Yeah.
build it back up.
Well,
Yeah.
for me, you fail upwards if you're bad next year. Like CJ Stroud's a good quarterback, but
Mhm.
if you're the worst team next year, it's Caleb Williams, a
Yeah.
better quarterback, and you just
Mhm.
take Will Anderson anyways. So
That's true.
to like
Yeah.
give up all those picks, I mean, it's a first next year, a second first this year,
Yeah.
second, and like fourth. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean that's
Will
what
Anderson was the best player in the class.
Will Anderson was really good. And then the Eagles,
You're just recreating national championship.
we're just
Bulldogs.
getting
That's
the
all you're
Georgia
doing.
defense at this point. We got Jordan Davis last year and Nakobe Dean. This year we got Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. We're essentially building the Georgia defense on our team. And I mean, this is the time where, you know, Fletcher Cox he's getting older, Brandon Graham, he's getting older, and essentially like those guys are going to be sort of the next up for this Eagles defense. One of the things that the Eagles have prided themselves with, even after the year we won the Super Bowl, is like this defensive line, like stack
Yeah.
up front, like rush the quarterback, put pressure on the quarterback, and then have, you know, 1 or 2 playmakers out in the secondary, and then but it really starts up front. And personally, I'm super excited to see, like, because those 4 guys, they have chemistry, they played together, you know, so it's like it's gonna be really exciting for me to see as an Eagles fan,
Yeah.
where this offense goes or where this defense goes, excuse me, and it's gonna be very scary. We're so built for the future, and I'm so hyped for this.
Can we quickly talk about the Lions? I
Yeah.
loved everything about the Lions last year. Dan Campbell, Goff, like so much reason to be excited. And they dropped one of the worst classes to start out this draft. Drafting
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs, a running back 12th overall. When you signed DeAndre Swift,
Yep.
you sign another running back, and it go first round running back. It's the worst decision ever. I get Bijan Robinson. Like, Bijan Robinson's a great player.
Yeah.
Even he was drafted too high realistically. There's so much production down the board of running backs. It's the one
Yeah.
position you never take high.
That is so true. You never draft a running back unless it's like a legitimate
Yeah, like-
there's a need.
Necessity.
But
There's a
even
need,
then,
yeah.
even them, it doesn't always work out. Like Saquon's had all his injuries.
Yep.
They went second. It's just so rare.
Mhm.
And then they go and draft Jack Campbell, who's got like second grade predictions.
Mhm.
Well,
Really bad class.
Lions are not doing what the Texans are doing. I mean, I know what you think, Matty. I know you think it's like too much capital and everything, but I feel like Texans did it right.
yeah.
Like they're trying to really improve.
Well, shifting over to the NBA playoffs, it's playoff season in the NBA. I want
Timothy.
Jimmy Butler, bro.
Oh, go.
He is him.
Yes.
Like he dropped 56 points, which is like a legitimate like top 5 playoff performance ever. Like we really just witnessed history here. The 8th seed of Miami Heat knocked out the number 1 seed of Bucks, who had the best record in the league,
Mhm.
who were massive. I think they had the best odds to win the title.
They did, and I mean, he was talking trash too when they were still down by like 5.
Yeah.
With like 2 minutes left.
That's the thing with Jimmy Butler. He kind of coasts throughout the regular season. He doesn't really try as hard.
Mhm.
But when the playoffs come around, he is like legitimately like the best player in basketball. Like
Yep.
he
Yep.
is an elite defensive player. He turns into like a super efficient scorer. And to me, you know, as a Celtics fan, it just makes our path to win the championship that much easier because we're playing Philly in the second round. Sorry, Gary. I know you're watching this. But Philly doesn't scare me. Like,
No.
you know, like Joel Embiid had said it best, like, this isn't a rivalry, you know? Like, they
Mhm.
always beat us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. The Celtics always beat the Sixers. So I'm really excited for that matchup because it should be like a easy whooping, bro. smack up Philly. I'm so excited. And
I just feel bad for Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Like I just feel so bad
They
for
have
him.
they have to blow this up. Like they have
Yeah.
to trade Kawhi,
Yeah.
trade Paul George,
Yeah.
restart. You don't have a draft pick till like 2026 or 7 till like my kids are gonna be in the NBA. Like, you know, Steve Ballmer put so much money into this team to be a championship contender. But the Clippers, I'm convinced they're a cursed franchise, bro. They always get hurt at the wrong time. We had the Chris Paul hamstring injury a couple years ago. Then you had Blake Griffin always go out at the wrong time. Kawhi Leonard, since he's gotten to LA, has not played over 60 or 70 games since he's got to LA. Neither has Paul George. Like, this is when you traded for Paul George when he was in Oklahoma City, then you signed Kawhi Leonard when he just came off of a championship and an all-time great playoff performance. There was an expectation to win, and so you have, like, after this season, something has to change.
Yeah. They got to get rid of him. It's not really worth it anymore. I mean, Stephen A said, like, oh, he needs to retire.
Yeah, and he has to.
And
at this point,
it's just
Kawhi, if you're Kawhi, you can call it quits, and you'll be completely satisfied with how your career went. You won 2 championships on 2 separate teams. You were at your peak, the best player in the league, like undisputed best player of
Spurs,
basketball.
Toronto, just dominant.
But yeah, I think at this point, if you're Kawhi, you can call it. I mean, it was noticeable that Kawhi at this point of his career, the basketball playing out there was not really like his top priority. He had all this stuff off the court, with his New Balance deal and all these commercials he was doing. And I mean, if you're Kawhi, he can walk away and he'd be completely okay.
Yeah.
And then just to end things off, the Kings Warriors series has been probably one of the best series that there has been in the NBA in a long time. Same as the Grizzlies Lakers.
I hate the Warriors. I hate the Warriors.
I also hate the Warriors.
I hate them,
but I have my reasons.
That's
They beat the Celtics last year in the finals. It is what it is.
I
But the Kings, an up and coming team, a younger team, potentially dethroning a dynasty here.
Yeah.
There's that storyline, and then with the Lakers Grizzlies, there's a whole thing with Dylan Brooks versus LeBron and John Morant.
That's not even
It's not
competition. Dylan Brooks, like, come on, it's LeBron versus Dylan Brooks. Like, nah.
I want to see that in a boxing ring. I want to see that. But yeah, I'm so excited. Like, the Celtics, this is our championship to lose. If we lose this year, I might have to reconsider.
You're gonna lose.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say you're gonna lose just to make you sad.
Wow. I hope that when we shoot next week at Anaheim, your camera dies.
Wow.
Yeah. And I hope while you take your final, your laptop dies.
Oh God, no.
I love you, bro.
I feel like the separation of, like, you two on that side and us on this side is, like, very much how this podcast ends up. I feel like Sonny and I are just antagonists at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's me and Matty against the world.
Yeah, it really is. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for joining us for Season 1, Episode 11 of Teed Up. Thank you to our editor, Aiden Swanapool, and our producer, Layla Nunez, and our podcast editor, Isabel Salaji. If you want to stay up to date in the latest in Long Beach State sports, check out our website, daily49er.com, and follow us on socials at Daily49er. Thank you so much for listening, and see you later. Bye.
See ya.
Let's go.